Hey everyone, welcome back. We're getting ready to start doing some speed tests during the day. It's actively raining here right now, so we're going to. I want to see how it's performing in the rain. For number one, it's really cloudy, and also for everybody that's interested in the middle of the day. A lot of people work from home. I still get this question a lot, which is perfectly valid. Hey, I work from home. How does it work during the day? So I'm going to show you how it works during the day. And I've been using it solely. I got rid of my AT&T months ago now, so I only have had StarLink for months, and it's on average it's much better than AT&T. There's a couple times where it'll drop out during network like heavy peak times, which is 9 o'clock. Usually it's around 9 o'clock is at night was when it cuts out, but during the day I've never had any issues with it. I just checked my outages from last night when the storm came in, and the router, we must have lost power at some point because this morning at 3 o'clock I was looking and it said booting. So, and then searching for satellites like a minute later, so we must have lost power this morning, but I don't even recall that. So, because I was sleeping. For anybody that's new, hasn't watched any of my videos before, I am in Northwest Georgia, the state of Georgia in the southern U.S., not the country of Georgia. And if you could do me a favor, I do these quite a bit. It's been a couple weeks since I've done one. I've been sick a couple of times. Have a 4-month-old, 5-month-old, soon to be 5-month-old baby girl just started into daycare, and everybody that has kids that goes to daycare knows that you get sick all the time because she's sick all the time or they're sick all the time. So, but anyway, if you could like and subscribe, I'm going to be doing these quite a bit. Liking, commenting on the videos, it really helps bump the videos up visibility because of Google algorithms. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get right to the speed test right here. We're using the same server I usually do the Sparklight in Atlanta, and you can see, and I do not have anything running in the background right now. So again, it's a rainy day. It's actively raining right now, and we're at 11:31 a.m. And as you can tell, this does not look happy. It's much worse than I thought it was going to be. Usually during the middle of the day, it runs 50 to 80. I don't think the weather plays that big a role, but maybe I'm wrong. So the first one is 32 millisecond ping, 6.7 megabit per second download, 1.92 megabit per second upload. Let's do test number. I do a series of 3 tests every hour, hour and a half. There, this is more what I was expecting to see here. Maybe the first one was just right at the edge of satellite range or something. I'm not entirely sure. But obviously this is already looking much better. So test number 1 was not good. Test number 2 is 46 millisecond ping, 69.9 megabit per second download, and somewhere around 9 upload. Ooh, 9.69 megabit per second upload. So now we're going to do the third test here. Latency is really nice. And by the way, I do game on this quite a bit too. I have some walkthroughs for different games going up right now, and I've only had a slight problem with lag one time, and it was like a month and a half ago. It was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Just a little bit of lag. Other than that, it's been just fine. So test number 3 is a 26 millisecond ping, 26.13 megabit per second download, 10.13 megabit per second upload. So, I mean, that's way better than what I was having. A disclaimer for everybody. If you're sitting there with a 30 meg or higher connection that's balanced, that you always get 30 megs or higher, I wouldn't go to Starlink right now. And the reason why is because there's a lot of times, especially late at night, you're going to end up with way higher than 30. You're going to be in the hundreds or maybe even 200s. So if you're downloading big files and you can wait until late at night to do it, then Starlink might be better for you. But for the most part, like if I had a choice in between a 30 meg constant connection or Starlink that could be way faster, but during at night it's way slower, it's like 3, I would go with the 30 megabit connection. That's just my honest opinion. I really like StarLink because the best I have is 6 megabit connection. That's the best I can get. That's a DSL, and that's the best that I can get here. So compared to a 6 megabit per second connection, StarLink is a no-brainer. But I've had a lot of people in the comments saying like, "Oh, well, I'm going back to my 150 megabit connection." Like, valid, yeah, you should get rid of StarLink because if you have access to 150 megabit cable connection, that's definitely going to be way faster than StarLink. If you have access to a 50 megabit connection, DSL connection, on average, that's going to be faster than Starlink. But there's a lot of us that don't have any other choice. I live in the mountains, like I said, in the mountains of northwest Georgia in the Vincent Mountain area, and there's no other option. You have a 6 megabit connection, or you have HughesNet, or one of the other satellite companies that are way worse, and those are your options. So I chose to go with Starlink. It's during peak times, it drops down a little bit, but at the same time, that's very, very infrequent. Infrequent enough that I would rather deal with that and have a lot higher speed during the rest of the time. So it is 11:35 now. I'm going to come back about 12:30 to 1 o'clock, and we'll do some testing again just to show you how it progresses through the day. I'll tell you how it's doing outside for raining. It's just a real light rain right now. So we'll see you then. Be back at it. All right, everybody. So here we go. It is 12:31 right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do another series of 3 tests here to see what it's like. Now outside it's just barely sprinkling a little bit now. There's not much to it at all. Oh, there we go. This is a lot more what I'm expecting to see. Still using the same. Oh, wait, no, that's a different server. Okay, well, we'll keep using the Windstream server then. Nope, never mind. I want to keep it consistent. Hang on. Well, we'll let it do this one. We might come back to this one, but you can see the ping was a little bit higher to this one, but the speed was a little bit nicer too. So here's what we're going to do. It was Sparklight, not Windstream Sparklight that we were using. So we'll stick with the same server. Okay, so the ping is about the same. Oof. Well, we started with it. We're going to stick with it though. But the Windstream was a lot faster. Well, this one's creeping up. Alright, so the ping was 50 milliseconds. Download was 40.13 megabit per second. Upload isn't too bad. The biggest pain in the butt, though, is when I'm trying to upload videos to YouTube. These videos, if I do it in 1080, it's not too bad, 1080p. But if I switch it over to the 1440, whatever, it's Blu-ray quality, right? Whenever I switch it over to Blu-ray quality, man, it takes forever. That was the first Sparklight, so I'll do 2 more. Well, at least the ping is nice and consistent. Right around 50. I always get a lot better ping on the laptop than when I'm doing it, because I'm running these on the laptop right now. Because on the problem when I try to do speed tests on my phone is it truncates the top, so you can't see the speed, you can't see download speed, the latency, nothing. And I don't like that, even though doing them on the laptop takes more time because it's real easy to make a video on my phone. It's kind of a pain on the laptop, but you can get a lot more information on the laptop. So the ping was 49 millisecond, downloads 24.28 megabit per second, uploads 9.6 megabit per second. That was test number 2 to the Sparklight server. We're going to do test number 3 here. Well, all these it doesn't look very happy. I don't know how much that has to do with the server and how much of it has to do with just the natural variation, because satellites are coming in and out. These aren't geosynchronous. These satellites come in and out of the target area all the time. And you have the new satellites and you have the old satellites that because they update these satellites all the time too. And so the newer satellites run a lot faster than the older satellites. And if you have 4 of them overhead, then your satellite that you use, your dish on your roof, it's actually a phased array antenna, and it'll maybe have connections to 3 or 4 of them at the same time. So this one was 32 millisecond ping, 47.47 megabit per second upload, a 6.11 megabit per second download. Out of sheer curiosity, let me put it back to the Windstream server. I want to see if how much that has to do with the server to see if I get high. Nope. Nope. It looks like it doesn't have anything to do with the server. Well, I'm not going to sit there and watch that. So we're going to stick with the Sparklight server out of Atlanta. That's the one. That's my go-to anyway. It usually gives me the best results. So we're all done here. That's 12:35 now. I'll be back around 1:30, 1:45, somewhere around there, and we'll do the next set. Hey everyone, it is now 1:32, so we're going to go ahead and we are for sure Sparklight server in Atlanta. That's the one I always use. We'll keep it with that one for the rest of the time. It's one I usually try to use. Woo! Pings 20 milliseconds. That's a lot happier. The last time it wasn't too bad, but it was, oh geez, I don't even know. So when you're watching these videos, it's back to back, and you're like, how could you not remember? But for me, it was an hour ago. I think it was somewhere around 50. At least it was earlier in the day. So ping is 20 milliseconds again. This is 1:32 p.m. 34.76 megabit per second download speed. Again, not too bad. And as I started out this video saying, if you have access to a 30 meg or faster, like the 7.03 megabit per second upload, a 30 megabit, if you have access to a 30 megabit per second or faster connection, I would just keep it, to be honest with you, just in my own personal opinion. Because I mean, although I do download some very large games, you know, all the way up to 120 gigabyte, and it would take a lot longer for that, because if I download them at night, it doesn't take very long at all. But the fact is that I would rather have the stability of 30 megabit, because with 30 megabits, you can stream ultra high def, you know, 4K on like 4 screens at the same time and still be fine. So this one, ping was 53, download was 29.08 megabit per second, upload was 11.66. That's a pretty good upload. One thing I have noticed also is I have noticed that although I don't get quite as low as I used to, so my bottom speed is faster than what it used to be, my peak speed is not as fast as it used to be either. It seems like it's being more stabilized. And I mean, that's just, you know, anecdotal on my part. You know, maybe that's not actually true, but it seems like they've done something so that way, because I used to really lag or get a lot of buffering when I'm watching TV on Sunday nights. I don't get that a whole lot anymore, but I also used to get 240, 250 megabit per second when I'm downloading games at night, and I don't get that anymore either. I get 140, you know, 150. So anyway, this was the last test, 24 millisecond ping, 87.16 megabit per second, which was nice and fast, and 9.18 megabit per second upload speed. So that's what we have for, was that 2 or 3? That was 3. We're going to call it 3. So it's 1:34 p.m. right now, and we'll be back around 2:30 for the next one. Hey everybody, so we are back. It is 2:30 right now. Tried to change the server on me again. All right, back to Sparklight. We're going to go ahead and run another series of 3 tests here. And again, I said earlier, because the way YouTube's algorithm works, if you guys could, if you don't want to subscribe, no problem. If I get you to drop a comment, that helps. Just giving me a thumbs up, a like on the video, that always helps too. Anything really helps. Any type of interaction helps, you know, prioritize me up the list on the algorithms. And I'm just a small channel. I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger, but yeah, just a small channel, so not making any money off of it or anything like that. Google has, or YouTube has, these restrictions. I forget what it is, but it's a lot bigger than me. All right, so the ping on the first one is 26, download speed 55, upload speed's 8.99. Getting ready to run number 2 here. And by the way, outside, it's still doing the same thing it was earlier. It's just a little bit of rain, not much. But enough, like pretty heavy cloud cover. Like there's no breaks in the clouds or anything like that. And it seems to be still reacting pretty well. Whew, this one looks a lot nicer. And so the ping on this one, again, the ping is always, you know, nice and low whenever. This is on my laptop, by the way. Some of my earlier ones I use the phone. In fact, most of my earlier ones I use my phone. And the phone has a higher latency, but usually a better download speed. So this one, my laptop always has a higher, or has a lower latency and usually not quite as high of a download speed. But this one, test number 2, was 33 milliseconds, 128.71 megabits download, and 12.48 megabits upload. And it is 2:32 p.m. right now. We're going to go ahead and run one more and see what we have here. Oh, the ping's a little bit higher on this one. But I mean, 71 milliseconds still nothing out of hand. Like, I don't start getting worried until I start seeing it up in the 300 millisecond range. That's, especially when you're gaming. Like, if you're gaming, you know what 300 milliseconds looks like. It's not fun. But anyway, so we're 71 millisecond ping, 73.14 megabit per second download, and our upload's doing pretty nice as well. Looks like it's going to end up being right around 8.77 megabit per second upload. Pretty good number so far. It's actually gotten better since earlier this morning. Usually as it gets closer and closer to 5 o'clock, it goes down. It's not doing that today, so that's always nice to see. So I'm going to go ahead, and it's 2:33 p.m. We're going to do one more right around 3:30, and then we're going to call it for this video. And I'm going to try to do one, I think, probably tonight to see what the the peak hour type of speed test looks like. So we're going to leave it off there, and I'll be back shortly. Hey everyone, we are back. It is 3:31. It's going to be the last series of 3 tests for this video. And I'll probably do one for, I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight or a different night, but to show you guys during prime time what it looks like. I want to do this one for people that work from home. It's a, a popular request, because all of them I've been doing was just Sunday night. The problem with Sunday night is that that is the slowest time of the entire week. So I'm kind of tilting what people see the wrong way. I don't only want to do it like 2 in the morning or something like that, where obviously it's going to be lightning fast, and be like, oh look, because I saw a lot of those videos where people would start at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. or something like that. I'm like, oh look how fast it is. I'm like, well, that's not really realistic, because you kind of need to see what it's doing all day long. This first test did 32 millisecond ping, 119.3 megabit per second download, 9.06 megabit per second upload. Let's go ahead. That was test number 1 at 3:31. It's 3:32 now. Let's go ahead and do the second test, see how it looks. And it's been looking better this afternoon, actually. We're coming down a little bit, but earlier, like this morning, it was 20 to 30, and now it's pretty consistently higher than that. It's 40 millisecond ping, which is still nice. Ping is the latency, how long it takes the data to get from my house, from my laptop, to the satellite, and then back down to a ground station. So we are 40 millisecond ping, 50.2 megabit per second download speed, and 7.19 megabit per second upload speed. We're going to do the third test here. Let's see how this one works. Ooh, nice. 20 millisecond ping, I like that. And like I said, I haven't had hardly any problems gaming. So if anybody's watching this wondering about gaming, maybe once, if you're gaming during prime time, like peak hours, maybe you'll have a problem once a match for a couple of seconds, but that's about it. It doesn't last very long. So this was a 20 millisecond ping, 48.54 megabit per second download speed, and 8.54 megabit per second upload speed. So and again, it's 3 o'clock or 3:30, 3:34 now. Everything's looking really nice. So if you're working from home, these are about the speeds that you can expect. They have dropped a little bit recently. They used to be, I used to pull above 100 all day long, so it has gotten a little bit lower. However, I have noticed also in the evening it doesn't get as low as it used to. So that's always better. But as I said at the beginning of this video, I would still recommend, if you have a 30 megabit connection, depends on if you're working from home or not. If you have a 30 megabit connection, that's kind of where the cutoff is between going to Starlink or sticking with what you have. Remember, Starlink was designed for people out really in the middle of nowhere that have almost no other option or no other option. So if you have options to a 50 megabit or higher connection, Starlink probably isn't for you, at least not yet. And maybe in the future it gets, fast enough where it can apply to people. Remember, they're still launching, thousands of satellites a year. So, yeah, and they're going to be doing it for another, 6 years or 8 years or something like that. So it very well could get to be faster than even fiber. Who knows? But we're going to leave it off there. Hope everybody's having a good week, and we'll see you in the next video.